I'm Eva Gremmert, and I am Nick's dad. That's how I'm known in a lot of circles, too.
I know so many people that they look at what my parents especially are doing now, and they're like, I don't know how you do it, I don't know how you do it. And my dad especially is just like, I don't know how I wouldn't. Like, it's his greatest joy in life is caring for Nick. So it's pretty cool to have that perspective.
To have a brother only 14 months apart, we probably would have been on similar sports teams, if not the same sport team. We probably would have played together, had the same friends, all the way through growing up, even through high school. I've thought about, whether, we would have been on the same football team or, basketball team or whatever it was. And I'd like to think that we would have been. I remember one time I came home from football practice and we had 2-a-days, and I was tired and I was complaining to Mom, and Nick at the time was more mobile and he was standing halfway down the steps in the log house, and I was going off just saying this sucks or whatever, and then Nick said, I never play football. And man, you could have heard a pin drop after that. He was so on point that he put me right back in my place, and I knew full well that he was right. He'd never have the chance to play football like I did, and it changed my tone, it changed my thought process, and I've thought about that experience a lot. It served as a catalyst for me to always appreciate where I'm at in life.
So Nick has been diagnosed with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. It is a rare form of epilepsy with intractable seizures, which means they're difficult to control, multitude of different types of seizures, and it's rare and it's life-threatening. The life expectancy typically now for individuals is in their mid-20s, so 25 years of age. So Nick is turning 40 this year, and we're excited. He has far outlived the doctor's expectations, although we are hoping he's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, the fact that the doctors said he would never talk, and now we sometimes can't get him to stop talking, it shows that he has outproven what the doctors have said he would happen.
Well, we've been doing Nick stuff for 4 decades, and they would take them back a little bit because I think 4 decades sounds different than saying even 40 years. So to me, it was a milestone that we had reached, and he keeps talking about his 50th birthday, and I love that idea. So it really gelled for him too, that he was getting older, but that he had some really big birthdays coming up.
He learned to read when he was 17 years old. That's another thing that the elementary school teachers didn't think was going to be possible. So Arden and I learned over time just to never underestimate what was going to be possible for him. Yeah. So Nick is our second son. His older brother is 14 months older than he is. Then Karen is 2 years younger than Nick. And then Derek is 2 years younger than Karen is. So we had 4 children in 5 years. Their whole existence, they have had a brother with special needs.
I think that probably my first inkling that something wasn't right was when Eva started talking about that. And it was just moments after Nick's birth. And to me, she's the one that knew the most about our kids. I was working 2 jobs most of the time, and just flying in and out of their lives, basically trying to keep bread on the table. But once Nick was born and we saw him as lethargic as he was, that was a real concern for me. But he didn't have anything in his eyes. I mean, there wasn't that instant bonding with his mom type of thing. It just seemed like there was no life behind his eyes. They weren't sparkly. And it wasn't anything that I could put my hand on, but it was true and it was genuine. As far as the light in his eyes, that just gradually, came through. And especially after he got a little older and he was more able to laugh and respond with laughter and joy and those sorts of things, which weren't really, in my remembrance, a big part of his life in his early years. I think he was just struggling to get along because his whole world is, you know, so difficult for him to decipher. He has no filters. Everything comes at him at the same rate. Okay.
A is for apple. Oh, B is for boy.
B is for bubbles.
Oh, B is for bubbles.
Because he knows he's the older brother, he throws out some funny sayings to me, like calling me Derek a wuss and some other funny stuff. But, you know, he knows how to joke with me and play with me and have fun, which is, you know, a brotherly thing, so.
And he picks on you as the
Yeah, he picks on me as the younger brother. He knows he's older.
He was able to kind of carry on conversation with us and joke around and have common interests and kind of express his opinion about things. And so, yeah, we definitely connected more in that way as his abilities grew.
The way that he can remember songs is amazing, of a talent of his.
And busy all around when there's love at home. There is joy in every town.
We've traveled to Ireland since I was a kid, and as we got to know the culture better, we got to experience something called the sing-alongs that they do. Just with family, friends, in pubs, whatever, you know, growing up, we were able to attend these sing-alongs. So people in my family have songs that they sing, and over there, everybody has their song that they sing during these sing-alongs. And my dad, he sings Jug a Punch. Derek sings Fields of Athenry. And Nicholas, he actually sings a song. He has his own that he likes to sing, and it's called The Town I Love So Well. A few years ago, they were back in Ireland. There were about 50 to 70 people gathering for an honorary doctorate that was given to Paddy Bogside, who was a civil rights leader in the Derry area. And anyways, Nicholas got up there and sang his song. And like I said, 50 to 70 people, very clear, very succinct, and very poignant. And at the end of it, Paddy, who was the reason why they were all gathered, said, "This clearly disabled boy sang our song to us, and he knows these words better than most of you." And Nicholas just has a way through song and music to be able to relay messages to people, and it resonates with him. And he's always had that. He just has this uncanny ability to use song to relay messages to people.
Since Nick is almost 40 and he's been out of school almost as long as he was in school, we've developed a program for him and things that he does. 2 days a week he goes to a day program with other individuals with special needs, and they go on what he calls field trips. So they'll go to museums, they'll go to the movies, they'll go swimming, they'll go to arts and crafts, to farms, it's fabulous what they do. He really likes that. The other 3 days in the work week, we have a variety of things happen. One of the days, a woman comes and does job coaching things with him. Wednesdays is his spa day. Then he comes home and has an hour yoga class with a yoga instructor that comes to the house and does modified chair yoga with him and helps to strengthen him and to help with flexibility.
Exhale, come up, count. Yep.
2,
Yes.
3, 4.
After that, after he has his lunch, he has a massage. We've discovered, as massage therapists know, that massage will calm the parasympathetic nervous system. He also will, after he's done massage or after he's done with the work he does shredding on Tuesdays, he will have some game time. He loves Sorry. He's an Uno shark. You don't want to play Uno with him because he cheats. So.
Oh yes, Nick and cheating. Yes, he cheats at Uno. He cheats whenever he gets a chance. He always pulls up one or more cards or looks at the card and takes the one that he wants. Yeah, he's good at cheating sometimes.
So he's competitive.
He's very competitive.
We're not shy anymore about asking people for help. We've had seizures at Costco. where the folks were fantastic. I mean, it was amazing that one of the guys went and got a flatbed to put him on for the ambulance. Some other folks ran over to the pillows in the section, brought a bunch of pillows and blankets. And I mean, just people responding have given us some, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe some view of humanity that people really want to help. And so we've lost all edge to that. We just ask people to help.
When we're traveling, it has gotten to be a little bit more of a handful over the last few years. Nick is in a wheelchair. We take his wheelchair with him. In order to bathe him, we have a bath lift that can be put into a traditional bathtub and raise and lowers him into the water, and that goes in a separate suitcase. We have to keep his sleep schedule consistent so he won't have seizures. We have to give him his medicines at specific hours so that he won't have seizures. We always have a change of clothing in his backpack in case of an accident. There's a lot of accommodations that we have to think about. In our family, we have always included Nick in whatever we were doing. Our first international trip, he was 7 years old. When Arden and I decided we were going to go to Paris, and of course Nick was coming along with us, we asked Nick what he wanted to go see. And he said he wanted to see the Mona Lisa and the Eiffel Tower. I had no idea that he was even aware that what the Mona Lisa was and that it was in Paris. So of course we had to go to the Louvre. So we get up to the front of the line and we're waiting our turn with the people that are just in front of us, and all of a sudden a guard comes walking over, and I'm thinking, oh no, because I don't speak French and I would have no idea if he started talking to me what we would have to say. He opens up the little divider and then motions like this, and Arden and Nick start moving forward. He was allowing Nick to come inside that guarded area up close to the Mona Lisa. Nick got to sit within a couple of feet of the Mona Lisa, and he sat there for about 15 minutes with Arden talking to him, and they were talking and looking and just enjoying the Mona Lisa. So Arden and I have been married now for over 42 years. And I know that I wouldn't be able to accomplish pretty much anything I've done in life without him, but most particularly raising and caring for Nick.
I think the biggest thing is that, our family isn't really that different than every other family. Everyone has their struggles and their ups and downs and their things. And the biggest thing for us is that we were blessed with somebody like Nicholas that has taught us to be joyful and to be happy and to see the good in everyone and to be loving and to be accepting.
I do think that the things that we experience do create who we are and help us to grow and change. And that's the message that I hope that people get, is that a feeling of joy can come. And it isn't just Pollyanna, oh, everything's wonderful, because life is not wonderful. Life can be tragic and difficult and hard. But the underlying theme is that we can have hope. We don't need to have hopelessness. We can have joy. We don't need to only have sorrow.
Well, Nick turning 40 was definitely a big event for our family, for me. We never thought he'd live this long, so every year is such a great celebration.
His birthday is always the best day of the year for Nick. And he has his favorite food, he has his favorite cake, he has his favorite presents that he gets all the time. And he just absolutely loves his birthday.
So people give us sort of the help we need for Nick, but it's an amazing experience. It's an awesome thing to see them warm to him and really want him to have a good time. And in the process, we get a chance to do that too. So our lives are different, yes. And sometimes I'm way more tired than I think I should be by the time I get him in bed every night. But it's very fulfilling. It's a remarkable life. I just can't imagine it being any different.